Hello, it's Tina from the Temple here. This is lesson number 3 of Tarot, Beginner's Tarot. I just keep stating that for all those experienced tarot readers who are coming on it. But that's fine too. Interestingly, I've taught mediums how to do tarot, because a medium is just in contact, not just in contact with the spirit world. And so sometimes they will do a reading, but they don't know tarot cards. So they use often tarot cards as a way to help pass on the message. Particularly if nothing comes through spiritually, if, the spirit guides are not there at that particular second. So sometimes you will have when you're looking for a tarot reader, this is just by the by, you may be having, I think I might have said this, you may have a beginner's tarot reader, someone like yourself maybe, who's just learning and wants to practice on someone. Then you might have someone who's been experienced for a while, but they just use tarot cards. They don't connect psychically. Then you will have a tarot and psychic medium, so someone who is a medium that is also using the tarot cards, and then sometimes you just have mediums, which are just people who are connecting with the spirits around them and not needing the tarot cards, which is fine. But if they are needing to use tarot cards and don't know them, that's when they come to me. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, and learn tarot that way. I've done that a few times. Okay, so last time on the second course, number 2, Beginner's Tarot number 2, I was just at the end, and I didn't realise the time had run out, 50 minutes instead of not an hour, of doing a Celtic cross. So I'm just going to finish that. So if you were watching number 2, you will see that the Celtic cross ended. So we have a cross which is 1, 2, 3 cards down and 2 across, and they represent current situations. So you pick a card for the situation you're trying to deal with. The past on the left, the present and the future, and then subconscious and conscious for like the little crossy bit. And then you have a staff up the side, which is where I ended last time. And we were doing one for the world. And so I've got these 4 cards. You have the 4 cards up the side on the right-hand side of the cross. And the 4th card at the bottom is the environment around you. And I picked the Death card, and that means new beginnings. So the environment around us is all change and new beginnings at the moment. Then you have the next card up, which is the advice you should take. I did that the wrong way, actually. Sorry. The advice we should take is new beginnings. Sorry, it's the Death card. And the next one up is the environment around us, and that was Chariot, which is moving forward very quickly. So these are 2. I suppose it doesn't matter which order you do it in. And then the third one up is your hopes and fears, or the hopes and fears at the moment. And I got the High Priestess and the World card. 2 cards came out. I think our fears is the world is completely collapsing, but our hopes are that we become wiser, we become those High Priestesses selves that we know we can be and are. And then the future was, I got the Ace of Cups, that's the top card. That means new beginnings of love for ourselves and the world. So it's a really lovely spread. And if anybody wants a Celtic cross spread, I do readings. I'm just put myself out there, just put it in the comments that you'd like a reading, and then I can contact you and give you a personalized reading. And what I do for personalized readings, actually, I read your chakras and tarot kind of simultaneously. So I will scroll through your chakras, psychically reading, and let you know what's balanced, what needs balancing. I just pick up on everything. It's quite fascinating, if I say so myself. And then also the tarot cards will give you that extra bit of confirmation for whatever you need, or what the chakras are telling me that you need. So it's kind of a combination of healing and reading at the same time. Okay, back on to today's lesson, which is the Kings and Queens. Okay, because we've covered the minor arcana from Ace to Tens in all the 4 suits. Lesson 1. Lesson 2, we've done the major arcana and a bit of Celtic Cross. And this time we're doing Kings and Queens. And they tend to be slightly more difficult to learn. I shouldn't say that because everyone has an individual learning capability and capacity. But they could be difficult. I don't want to say they're difficult. Because you have one meaning of that they're people in your life, and then the energy that comes off from the two. So you'll see what I mean when I go on. So I'm going to start with the Queens. Now we're going to talk about pages and knights in the 4th lesson. I think I will just limit it to 4 lessons actually. And then after those 4 hours of learning, you should be able to do basic tarot. And then I will do more psychic stuff and astrology and numerology later on. Okay, so Queens. Queens are, if we go with people first, Queens are, they can represent you and they can represent people around you. And so we have the 4 Queens. You have a Queen for each suit. So first of all, I'll start with the Cups. We have Queen of Cups. So this lady, I say lady, whereas the first mistake, isn't it? Okay, so she is a feminine energy. It's a feminine energy, not necessarily a lady. So you can have a man with lots of lovely feminine energy. Goes with the flow, very chilled out, very creative, romantic, kind person, overflowing with love. Yeah, I think that's it all. Emotional, but it could be a boy. It could be a man. And equally, you could have a king when we come to the kings with lots of feminine energy. That quite often represents if you are gay or you have abundance of feminine energy more than masculine energy, but we're talking about queens, sorry. So if you were having if you were a man with feminine energy, it'd be a king, it'd be a queen, it would represent a man with feminine energy. God, I'm not making any sense today in my head, but I hope it makes sense to you. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is, all the queens are mature energy. We'll talk about pages and knights next time. Pages are childish energy, knights are kind of teenagery energies, 18 to 30s club. And then the Queen of Cups is kind of, we've matured into being a queen or a king. And so she has, I'm looking at my notes so that my brain won't go, because quite often it does go. But she's emotional, creative, all the things I just said, emotionally intuitive. She is nurturing, compassionate, empathic even, and empathetic. This would represent a nurse probably quite often as a career, a healer. She's got a great feeling for the subconscious and the subconscious emotional realm. She just, a loving natural mother she would be. And I like to think of these people as people. So if we think of her, let's think of a really loving, wonderful mother that does nothing else. What seemed to, as a famous person, I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anyone right now that just devotes her time to her children. You think of anyone? Might be your mother. But it's that sort of energy. And I'm just gonna, I was gonna go just these people as a person. But with this energy, when this comes through, it might be about yourself, or it might be that you need that sort of energy in your life. So just this is how it works. Sometimes it's the person, sometimes it's the energy of them. Right. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very balanced person. She's got the money. This is always someone who has kind of conquered being a mother, but also working at the same time. She's got this lovely balance. She's practical and grounded, but she's nurturing. She's good nurturing health and money and home material stuff. So she'd be lovely around the house. Very good with the house. She'd be the one that Giovanna Fletcher comes to mind, which it is a lady, for those who don't know. She's in the public eye. She is a lovely mother. I think she's got lots of children, and she writes books for children at the same time. So she's got a combination of being a wonderful, comes across as a lovely, not that I know her, lovely nurturing person. And then, oh, I get emotional when I say that. I don't know why. I don't even know her. Interesting. Maybe a mother that I would like to have. I'm a lot older than her, but that would have been a lovely mother. And then she works, with the children, writing books and stuff. So really successful in both fields. Interesting, that came up. I am an emotional being. I'm a Queen of Cups. Okay, so then, and on a good day, I am a Queen of Wands. So this is someone who is, I'll talk about that in a minute. Someone who's very positive. So she has, in the picture, she has a little lucky black cat with her. She's got the wand of, growth and communication. She's sitting on a crown. She's got a lovely sunflower, which represents positivity. She's the person that will come into your room and light up the room. And I always think of, Lady Diana in the day, but she could probably be more Queen of Cups. This might be Catherine. What do we call her? Princess Catherine? I'm really not with it today. I need to ground. Someone who just is positive influence on people. Oh, okay. That depends on the way people think about her. But a very positive light being. Nice person. Grounded. I'm feeling grounded when I'm in her company as well. Okay. She gives that off. And I was about to say about the Queen of Pentacles. So this energy would be, you need to be more positive, be around people positive, be more optimistic. That sort of energy. If you were talking about the Queen of Pentacles as an energy, if it didn't, you were doing a reading and it really didn't resonate as a person, then it would be more balanced in the home life and the wealth life, in the job life. Okay, and then we finish on the Queens. Oh, it's 1313. Angel number. With the Queen of Swords. And she is one that is very sharp and agile with her brain. She's intelligent. She's perceptive. She's a great communicator, and can be reserved and can be a bitch, because she is very sharp with her words. She will, tell you it straight, and sometimes that might not be liked. My English is terrible sometimes. She can often mean an author, someone who's very good with words and mental sharpness. Let me think. Someone who's very good like that. Good author, but sharp. Don't know. But you might know who someone is in that your family and like that. Quite often a politician. And the Queen of Pentacles can represent... No, I'm going on to Kings. I need to ground today, don't I? I'm not quite sharp as a button. I don't know. Water is always a very good grounding tool for me. Feels better. Okay, so we have these 4 queens, and they come up in readings, and we'll do a reading in a minute when with a few cards to see what they represent. a really good reading you can do to find out who they are in your family is just have these queens separate and then pull 4 cards of the normal deck, one besides each queen. And then you can just see what's going on with the queens that are in your family. Yes, it's really interesting. I'll do that later. Right, let's go into the kings. Oh, I just finished on Queen of Wands because I didn't say this. She's a confident person, charismatic, bold, inspiring, creative, warmth, and leadership. She's a strong woman, this one. Very much similar to the Nine of Pentacles, the strong, independent woman, but very positive. And the Queen of Swords, yeah, I've said everything about her. Right, okay. I try and focus. Right, okay. We are human, after all. Right, going on to the kings then. We have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is very emotionally balanced masculine energy. He is a compassionate leader. I'd say Prince William, you know, and also Prince Charles, King Charles. Oh, I should have stay away from the royal family, really, shouldn't I? Diplomatic, calm. Maybe not Prince Charles, King Charles. I'll get myself in trouble. Okay, but someone who, is, yes, everything I just said. And the energy of that is, you might need to go to someone who you know will give you the diplomatic, lovely advice that you're seeking without pain, you know. Oh, just tell me it's going to be all right. That's the person you will go to for the King of Cups. Sometimes this can be someone who is a bit OCD with their love, you know. So even though they're emotionally, they've got it, someone who actually loves their family more than, you know, it takes up their whole world rather than responsibility of other things. Just thinking of someone in particular, but okay. And then we go on to the King of Pentacles, and this is all about the money. This is the Simon Cowell figure. He has money coming out of his pores because he's shrewd and he's still a kind and compassionate man, but he just has an ability to create wealth. He is a stable provider, master of business and finance, and can be very generous. So it said, if this often comes up for me, like, okay, go and seek help from someone like this. A bank manager, this could represent bank manager as a career, someone, you know, that's really good with finances, or, you know, maybe your father if he's wealthy, or a father-in-law, someone you know that's got it ongoing, you know, good businessman financially. Okay. And then the energy of the King of Wands is a visionary leader. He's loyal and dutiful. He is dynamic. The Wands are always about communication, so he can communicate. He's bold, he's an entrepreneur, he's full of passion and drive. I always think, again, there's a little salamander in the picture in the corner, and this can represent OCD sometimes. I used to know someone who was a driving instructor, and he was in charge of the local area. And if someone phoned him up in the middle of the night to say there was a tree overhanging a road sign, he would get up in the middle of the night and cut it down so that the drivers would be able to see the road signs clearly, because he took it on his responsibility to do that as a driving instructor. So it's kind of, okay, really loyal and dutiful to his job, and suddenly sometimes slightly over the top with it. But he would see that as it was doing his duty. Okay, and then we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a very sharp talking, often a lawyer, sharp talking, she's logical, ethical, intellectual, high principles, can be, again, a bit like the Queen of Swords, who can be a bitch. This one can be a bit of a authoritarian. The kings tend to have this energy of just can be slightly over the top of everything they do. On the whole, they're emotionally stable, but sometimes they push it. Whereas I don't think, apart from the Queen of Swords, who can be a bitch, otherwise the other three are pretty much lovely ladies, or lovely feminine energy, I should say. So yeah, that's the King of Swords. So how do we remember those? By one word, because this is what I was trying to teach. I'd say nurturing, a nurturing woman. Queen of Pentacles, balanced. Queen of Wands, positivity. Queen of Swords, sharp-tongued. King of Cups, emotionally balanced. Simon Cowell. Wealthy and generous. King of Wands, a kind leader. And King of Swords, King of Swords, an intellectual leader, or a lawyer energy, you know, let's get it done, that sort of thing. Right, okay, so let's shuffle those in, and I'm going to shuffle those in, okay, with another 8. Let's see what comes up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just for fun, you know, though tarot isn't for fun. It is for fun, but really it should be taken very seriously. What we want to know is all in these cards. I've said this before. Okay, so let's just come up with, we got the Chariot. So let's just take a reading. If we didn't know this person, let's just see what comes out. So so quite often I'll do a reading. I'll start a reading with just 3 cards. I just want to know what is going on all around this person. So the first one I've got around, let me do it for collective, or the person that's watching this video right now. Okay, that's a good one with the intention, thank you. So the Chariot card. So this means things, as we know, happening fast, moving quickly, with determination and skill. Then I've got the World card, which is about the world's your oyster, etc. And then we got the Page of Cups. Oh, the Page of Cups comes out, and I haven't done pages yet, but this means opportunities coming out the blue of something new to love. So let's see what comes out. If we get Kings and Queens, we hope so. So if you are there listening to this, I would say, right, okay, how does that resonate with you? And then I would have talked about the Chariot and saying, okay, this is determination, grit. What would you say? I would say, what would you say if I said this to you? And the person might say, oh yes, that's my work, this is my love life, I feel this is going on. Sorry, I'm just going to move. And some people, this is for teaching when you're doing tarot for other people, is just, they don't want to talk. It's a lesson for all these people that don't like to talk when you're having a tarot reading. That's fine. You have the right to not to talk. That is fine. Because I think you want the person to be able to say everything about you and need no encouragement. And some mediums and some psychics and some tarot readers love to do that. Don't tell me anything. I want to prove to you that I know everything about you, which is equally fine as well. But I like, and I can do that when I'm reading chakras, etc. But I once did a reading and I had the Star card come up, and I couldn't get, I was reading them all, and it was all coming out completely right. She was nodding, etc. And then I said, the Star card is really specific to you, and I don't know why. And she said it's because my child, at the end, she was keeping quiet the whole journey. And she said at the end, well, actually, my child is called Star, and it's all about her. Now, maybe psychically, if I was a really good medium, I would have picked up on that. You know, one of my guides would have said, her daughter's called Star. and I should have got that better, but I didn't at the time. I was just reading what I was seeing from the cards and what they were telling me. I think it would have made a better reading if she had said, oh, that's my daughter's name, because then we could work more with what she wanted to know. So, because when we set the intention, the right cards would come out. But anyway, that's kind of a different way of thinking about it, a different way of looking at a reading and what you're going to let out if you want to know a better reading. I find it works if I'm having a two-way conversation with the person rather than, just me talking and the other person listening. But we're all different, aren't we? And I'm a talker. Anyway, so I've got these 3 cards out. I've kind of said, oh, what do you think that's about? Or maybe not, if they don't want to hear. So then I'll pull another 2 cards out. And so I've got 2 kings. And interestingly, when we have 2 kings or particularly 3 kings come out, we don't have the 3rd one or the 4th one, sorry. We look for what's missing. So, there would be lots of masculine energy in this reading. And if I got the 3rd card came out too, I'd be going, okay, but something's missing. And same with all the pages and all the queens and all the knights and kings. Look what is missing. But under this Chariot card then, of this quick determination and moving forward, I've got the King of Swords and I've got the King of Pentacles. So I know now that it's a very masculine energy that this particular person is moving towards, being financially sound, and also something maybe to do with solicitors or maybe to do with using your intellect, using your masculine side for once, maybe if you're a woman or a feminine energy, or stepping into that masculine power, or that you are, because it's a Chariot, moving forward into that masculine power. And again, I like to talk to the person and they go, yeah, that makes sense. It's my boss. I know this is about my boss. I've just got a new raise or whatever. And then I find I have then much more impact on, not impact on the cards, that's wrong, but better understanding of what's going in their whole life, But like I said, these days I can tune into a body and then I combine a blend of both so I can understand much more. Right, then we have the World card. So let's see. Now, sometimes as I do these 3 card starting things and I layer down all the cards as I go along, you might have 3 separate issues going on in that person's life, or they all interlinked. And so let's see what we get for we got the 3rd king out. Oh, we got all 4 kings out, and I did shuffle them. So all 4 kings are out and present. Very masculine energy going on in this reading. Please click if you can take it. And we've got the World, and then under the World card, which is mean everything is coming for you. This is a very good positive reading for this person. We've got the King of Wands, which is about, like I said, being loyal, dutiful, a visionary leader, dynamic, chatty, great communicator, full of passion, etc. And the King of Cups. So it seems pretty much that you're moving towards strength in money and strength in intellect and what's it when you talk? Articulation. That's it. And you've already noticing and getting the rewards of being a dynamic leader and a great father already. So one is you're moving towards, and one have you got already. And then we got the Page of Cups. So we got fresh opportunities coming in. Oh, this is interesting. So something out the blue, and we've got the Queen of Swords, which is could represent a lawyer, a female lawyer, but it's this person of great words, can be a bit bitch. And she comes out with the High Priestess. So it feels like you really, there's some energy of someone new coming into your life by the sounds of it. If this reading seems to be for, I don't know, it could be for a man, because there's a lot of masculine energy going on. because I'm doing it for a whole load of people. But you'll know. If it's you, you'll know. And it's the energy of the High Priestess with this, standing on your own, not worrying what people think of you when you say things. That's a High Priestess in her full power. And it's an opportunity that comes in out of the blue to examine that in great detail. And so then what I'm going to do is one card on each of the things. I just picked amazing cards, really. I didn't pick them. The spirit world picked them. And we've got the Death card, so new beginnings coming from this energy from the Chariot. So what I'm doing is working down the little column that I've got here. The Chariot, the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles. New beginnings coming from that with the Death card. Then all the major tarots, I've shuffled them and all the majors are coming out. So this is a really strong reading for somebody. And then under the World, we've got Temperance. So it's coming, but we might need a bit of patience, learning to find a emotional stability with that. And then under the Page of Cups, which is fresh opportunity, and the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess, we've got the Star card, so it's about self-belief, stepping into your power. And then what I do is when I look at this card, I go from the top left and I look at where you've come from, which is the Chariot. Suddenly things are moving forward very fast with all this energy. And then we look at the the bottom right, and we've got the Star. So we're looking downwards, left to right, and seeing where you end up, which is full of self-belief. So it's a very interesting reading. And if you could tell me, and only one Queen of Swords came out, so it's very masculine energy that we are either stepping into or we are at already, because maybe we may be masculine, or we might be masculine dominated. It's interesting. Ultimately, though, we have self-belief in ourselves at the end. Really good, lovely reading. Right, okay. Oops. So now, I just dropped a card. I've still got 25 minutes of this lesson. Shall I do Pages and Knights? Yeah, I do Pages and Knights then. Sorry, I wasn't planning to do that, and so I'm going to quickly whip them out. So we have Pages and Knights. The pages, I've just got to sort them out. The pages are representing quite often children, but they can also represent new beginnings, fresh energy, because the page is the youngest kind of court card, they call them. So I'm just finding them as I talk. And then the pages represent 0 to 16-year-olds, and the knights represent 18 to 30, or 0 to 17 years, and the knights represent 18 to 30-year-olds. Now, this might mean when you get a page and they're being silly and childish. And when you get a knight, they're kind of being a teenagery thing. So you might have a grown man, for example, being represented by a child or a teenager. Quite often, if this happens, the child will be the person that plays on their video game still when they're like 45. And the knight will be someone who is still partying or drinking wildly or trying to be still young, again, when they're 45. Or you might get like a swotty child that is represented by a king. And you think, that's because they have it's their past lives and the wisdom that comes with that card. So anyway, let's go. I'll probably not do it in the right order now that we had before. I think that was how we did the ones before. Right, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords. This is more than I thought it was going to fit in an hour, so this is good. Okay, so might be only 3 lessons, unless people ask for more. So we have the Page of Cups. And if you see, this is one we just had. He's got a little blue fish coming out of a cup, which means fresh opportunities coming out of the blue. It's the Page of Cups, so it's very much about love and creativity and romance. Now, as a child, this is why Pages and Knights are more complicated than the Kings and Queens. It will represent the little child that's full of love and just wants cuddles all the time. Okay, so you got a need, what you would say was needy, is really someone who just wants love, by touchy-feely stuff particularly. That is the child that's represented by the Page of Cups. But as an energy, it's more often the pages are about new beginnings or fresh opportunities coming. The pages will often come out with the ace of the same suit. If you notice that in your readings, that it's definitely meaning new beginnings and something new coming out. So this is that Page of Cups. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. As a child, this represents again, well, someone who learns. So you've got the child that is a SWAT who loves school. He's, just wants to go to school every day. That person, that is the Page of Pentacles. And quite often I will do, when I used to do Mind, Body, Spirit fairs, and I used to, do readings at wherever I went. And I'd go pick a card to the children, and they would always pick their card, oh, you like, and I'd say, oh, you like learning, then you like school. And, this one I would say, oh, you're the cuddly one, you're the one that is always wanting some love, bless them. And as an energy, it's new beginnings of wealth or a new job, something like that as an energy. Then we have the Page of Wands. This is the chatty child. This is the one that doesn't stop talking in class or at school at home, and it's always asking questions. Because if you can see here, they progress. So you start at Page, then their energy as a person goes on to the Knight, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then we go into either Queen or King. So that energy always carries through up until you're as you grow older. So yeah, little chatty person. This means new communications coming in, new growth coming in. There are many ways of looking at the Pages and Knights, and a lot of people, lots of messages, a lot of people will have a different view than what I've been taught. And sometimes when we're doing psychic readings and I'm really tuning in, what happens is my psychic team will say, that's not about that today, that's about this. And I will just say it as it is, like a medium would, then it doesn't have the card will not have the same meaning. But I'm just talking about beginners and basics so that you can learn. So the Page of Swords is the child that, and there's more and more of these coming into this world at the moment, that is either on the spectrum of autism or ADHD normally, or, maybe a neurodivergent child, if I can say that, which obviously I can't. Someone, I always think everyone is unique, and we all have gifts, and we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and we should just not label. I don't believe in labeling, but they label everyone in the UK. I don't know if they do it everywhere else. And someone would say, oh, you're autistic, or you're, on the spectrum. And I hate that. I just think we're all different. But this would be that child, because in the card, it's got loads of busy bees around his head. And this child is either going to be running around like a little busy bee, or he's going to be sitting in a corner, mind his own business and keep away from everyone. It's kind of those extremes, which represents a unique child, even though everyone's unique. But I think you get what I'm saying, hopefully. And if it was a new energy coming in, it's a new way of mental thinking, or a new, fresh idea of something, because it's swords, about mental stuff. Okay, so that's the pages. Then we go into the Knights. The Knight of Cups, first of all. The Knight of Cups is, I always want to say, the grass is growing on the other, greener on the other side with this cup, with this card. So it's someone who, like a knight in shining armour. will come round and save the day. So if it's an energy of a person or if it's a thing that's going to happen, it's similar. So it would be a person who's, again, grown up from Page of Cups, full of love. He just wants to be a hero, save the day. Sometimes it means, so if this energy of this person had come into your life and it was showing in the cards, it may mean, but are they genuinely the real thing? Because the knight in shining armor is just that. It's not, it's just shiny thing and not real. So look at the other cards around it. But on the whole, yeah, depending on the reading, it's someone with those lovely creative, emotionally learning to balance, romantic, charming, lovely energy. Then if we think of where the page left us when he was being a little swat and loved school, then we get to the knight, and what he wants to do is just study. So this often represents, and earn money. This would represent someone who is at uni. So often if this card comes up, I say, have you got children? Are they at university or they're going? And this would represent that person. It's someone who, you know, they're all on horses. This one, if you see, is just stop still because it's just here focused on earning money and or going to school or studying or uni to earn money. His thoughts are all about how he's going to become the Simon Cowell, because he's going to become either the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles. Okay. Then we have the Knight of Wands. And we go from, I call this card the Charmer card. So this would be the salesperson or the generally chatty, can talk their leg off someone's hind leg off a donkey. We have so many English phrases, don't we? That's a good one. And if you see here, he's kind of putting his foot down, stopping that horse, seizing every opportunity and going for it. He's an entrepreneur. He's a charmer. Sorry, entrepreneur is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so he would be, if you were having your son's friend came over or your daughter's friend came over and this person was chatty and you go, what a lovely person. You know, they'd ask about you. They've got almost like all those salesman traits within their soul of how to deal with people. Great communicator. So all these energies are kind of coming in. If they're not the people itself, it's about, oh, you need to be this person, or, you need to study, you're about to study something, that sort of thing. And then finally, we have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, if you think we went from the Page of Swords, which is a special, unique child, going into, if you think about an autistic child, there's quite often geniuses in their own field, unique field, or if they're got ADHD and they're full of energy, when they find their right thing, they will be happy bunnies. They will not fit in the schooling system, and God, we need to find a schooling system that fits around everyone, because it's, as we know, completely rubbish at the moment. And we thank all the teachers for surviving what is put out there and that they have to deal with. It's ridiculous. Anyway, right, Knight of Swords. So this, if you can see, he's the knight charging towards anything. He's full of, there is impulsive, no stopping him. He's charging. So this would be like a person. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. Sometimes you will have, quite often in fact, a blend as a person, a blend of lots of energy. So you could say, oh, these two came out together. This would be someone who's studying or going to uni, but he is absolute genius because he's probably doing, Bitcoin or an AI, expert or something like that. He's got the drive for money, but he's making money, but he's absolutely a genius at what he does. Some really You know, when you hear of these entrepreneurs at 13 and they've made all their money by like that age, that would be these two together sort of thing. So there we have it. We have all the knights and the pages, and we've done the pack. I think I always teach an hour at a time, and it normally goes over 6 hours, but I've done it in 3 hours, I think, because I haven't got anyone talking back. Normally people ask me lots of questions. So I'm trying to cover all those questions within these three hours of tarot. If you want any more, then please do ask. Otherwise, I'll just leave it at 3. Right, okay. I'm thinking of different readings that we can do. So, most people, when they come for a tarot reading, they normally have something on their mind. They don't just randomly come and think, oh, tell me. They want to know their love life. They want to know about their work. They want to know about money. Or they have a specific thing. And there are some really great spreads that you can do on each of those. And I feel like I want to, but I'd run out of time again. Which one shall I do? I've got one, but it would be too long for love relationships. So again, if you want a reading, it's a really great one. It examines your past on, well, actually, there's one that examines your current relationship now. So if you're with someone, where's it going wrong? Where's it going right? How you can put it back together if you want to. Is it going to fail? Is it going to succeed? That's a great relationship reading. I'm trying to think. Okay, let me just... Okay, so sometimes you will go to a reader and they are limited in their cards that they put, In India, when I was in India, I went to a tarot reader there and they just said it's a certain price point for how many cards you want read, which is really strange. I think it was like £5 in India. Everything's cheap. £5 for 3 cards, £3 for 2 cards, and £1 for 1 card. And but I'm going to do quickly in the last 10 minutes a thing with lots of cards, because you shuffle enough, and you can. Again, this is a message for someone. Someone will know and take it. Okay, so I'm just going to call them out, and this is a really good practice of understanding the cards quickly and the way that they can fall. So the Empress. So this is you. I'm going to talk to you personally. This is you. You are loving, kind. You have abundance in your heart, but I don't think it's there around you, and you struggled. So this is where I'm psychically connecting now. Okay, the Emperor. And you struggled because of the people that you're around. It's particularly a person or men that are around you. Sorry, I'm being specific because I think this is very female-male dynamic. That hasn't been working. Okay. You need to be, I've got the Tribe card. You need to be with those people that make you happy. And for all your life, I don't think you've been with those people. Sometimes you miss the signs. The universe is giving you signs all over the place, but you're so stuck in your relationship with this person that you don't see the signs. So it's a reading for specific someone who's become codependent, or maybe lots of people in this lifetime at the moment, codependent on somebody else without even realizing what that is. You are, okay, I was with someone at the weekend and they were saying, what was it? Something about, I just go and check if that's okay if I go out now. I was like, why would you check with your partner that it's okay to go out now? You should be able to go, darling, I'm just going out. I'm just going out with a friend. I'll be there. I'll be an hour, And he should just be able to go, of course, darling, enjoy yourself. And I think we forget, we get so caught up with somebody else. You are individuals, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so we have the rest card. Have a breather. This is when I always feel this card, apart from the Hermit card, is a card to rest, pause, reflect. Is this you? Is this you that is doing that? And if so, are you brave enough? Oh, okay. I'm saying, are you brave enough to change that? But what's happening is, we've got the action card. It's not up to you to be brave enough. It's just coming in anyway. It's changing. Your life is changing. And this is because of the universe is changing. We can look at this on a global picture. We start with the Empress and the Emperor. This is what's happening. The change in the universe from masculinity to femininity, and finding that balance. And it's represented in the universe, so it's represented in what's happening in our personal lives, which is why there's so much more narcissism at the moment. It's a common question that people ask. It's because the universe is changing. We've been in masculine energy for far too long now. Okay, and when that happens, we will have celebrations. Oh, this can, as we know, often means change of house, moving. It seems like you're going to have this natural thing that's going to happen to you, that you're moving on. You've learnt, or you're learning, to stand up for yourself. And I just dropped the Ace of Swords, which is about new beginnings of mental thought patterns. You're changing, and this is what the universe is doing with us without even trying. We're coming away from this state of depression, or maybe you're still going through it. Maybe you're still struggling with what's going on at the moment. There's been a lot of migraines, a lot of stomach issues. I'm talking on the 11th of June 2025. Lots has been going on that I've been hearing. Backaches, all this stuff that goes on in our body is representation of what's going on in the world. Makes you feel negative about everything, or the world is just a negative place to be. But there is success. We are moving forward, and we are making small steps. They're saying small. There's a brilliant book called 7 Atomic Habits. And when we find it so hard to change and so hard to break free of fearful patterns, we do little things, one bit by bit by bit. We will get there. So, and then you feel successful. Little tiny things, little steps every day. How can you do that? Little, first thing you wake up, maybe drink a glass of water. That becomes a habit, that you are energizing yourself, and it's self-love. Or writing in the journal, which is my favorite thing. I wake up first thing in the morning, close my eyes, get my pen, and then open my eyes, and then start writing whatever's coming out, because I'm still connected to those spirit guides in the middle of the night that come out. You are being supported by the universe. It's not just going down on earth. It's there, up there, really willing you on to success. You may feel stuck sometimes. It feels like you're going backwards sometimes. But it's about reflection, moving on, not looking at the past, not holding on to money, and putting plans in place for the future. Because the future is going to be bright. It takes a while. We have to get there. We have to learn a lot. We'll finish on that. Your wishes will come true. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Sound like Elvis. Anyway, right. I hope you have learnt to that the tarot cards are always right. They're guided by whoever you believe in. I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I believe in goddesses and angels and all other magical beings. They are around us the whole time, and the dead people. And anyone else I've missed. They're around us the whole time, helping us, guiding us. If we use the tarot cards, it's just one way of tuning into them. If we dream interpretation, if we pay attention to our dreams, that's another way. Meditation is another way. You could just sit there and connect. Journaling is another way. There are so many ways that you can connect with this other realm that there is around us all the time, and we can move forward and life can get easier. So I'll leave that there. If you would like to press the subscribe button, that would really help me. I'm building up numbers. And if you would like a private reading, please send me comments of your email address, whatever, and then I can, or just send me a comment, and then I can give you a link, and then we can book a session in. That would be lovely. Okay, and I can do my chakra balancing at the same time. Okay, take care. Have a lovely day. I hope your tarot goes well. Any questions, please ask. And I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.